With the preseason complete and cuts made, it's time to introduce your 2024 Las Vegas Raiders. Preston Stone has been named the starting quarterback, with Aiden O'Connell earning the backup job. Josh Jacobs is a given to be the team's starting rusher, but Jashawn Corbin and Sammy Spartan make the 53-man roster with a continuous battle ongoing for the backup spot. Chaz Nimrod balled out at receiver in the preseason without Tay playing for the team, and has earned the third wideout role, while Caleb Webb had a nice 1v1 camp and has made the team. A surprise spot on the team was given to undrafted free agent Grady Glick, who showed out against the Falcons in the final preseason game. Michael Mayer is obviously the starter at tight end, with Dalton Keene and Gerard Moses making the team as well. For the offensive line, Colton Miller starts at left tackle, with undrafted Moody Swede backing him up. The undrafted Zach Fish made the team at left guard and will likely start over draft pick Leonard Scott. Center Addison Nichols is a baller, and he won the starting job over Andre James, the veteran. John Runyon is the starter at right guard with Wizard Abacus, and at right tackle it's Mekhi Becton, who is already injured, shocker, with Jermaine Illuminor. On the defensive front, Cam Jordan starts at left end with Boogie Basham getting snaps. At right end, Bilal Nichols starts with Matthew Butler backing up. Defensive tackles rough on the team, with Neil Farrell taking a back seat to Tyson Young and Sagi McWaffles, who are both undrafted. Obviously, Mad Max Crosby is the starting left outside linebacker, with undrafted Bruce Gordon backing him up. The linebacking core was quite awful in coverage this preseason, with the Falcons game as evidence, Kyle Pitts just lighting up the defense. So inside linebacker is full, with Robert Spillane, Divine Diablo, who starts the year injured, Elijah Herring, who got injured in the preseason, and Amari Burney. Right side backer will start Tyree Wilson, with Daryl Manning, who had an injury in the preseason, and King Cowboy on our roster. At cornerback, cuts have left us with Nate Hobbs, Jacorian Bennett, Sam Webb, Quintavious Mentor, and Chris Harrison. Preseason standout Quintavious Mentor will start the year at slot corner to see if he can make some more great plays. Free safety is Marcus Epps, with Christopher Smith backing him up, and at strong safety, Isaiah Simmons has Trayvon Moehrig and Rain Rambo backing up. There was a lot of interest in Moehrig, but he could find himself starting on this team if Epps falters at free safety. Kicker is Daniel Carlson, and punter is, of course, AJ Cole. With week 1 coming up, let's take a peek into the start of the college season. Eric Chapman is the favorite to win the Heisman after losing the national championship last year to Coach Pip's Tennessee squad. Experts see Ball State being 4th in the MAC West division, and Coach Wambui was out to prove them wrong in his first season as head coach. Ball State's first task was taken on the old ball club in number 2 Tennessee on the road. Quarterback Jeffrey Wayne found tight end Sam Turk for 21 yards into the red zone, and then a toss to Dwayne Carroll got him in the end zone for 6, shocking the home crowd. But it was short-lived when Ricky Duncan found Ross Wilson for a 13-yard TD. On their next drive, Duncan found Josh Curley for a big gain. Jake Hunt took a big run right side for a gain of 19 yards, and then Josh Curley scored on a jet sweep. Jake Hunt later scored on a 9-yard touchdown run, and it just got bad for Ball State. Jeffrey Wayne was sacked not just once, but a second time to set up a 4th and 35 and a punt. Later in the red zone, Wayne made a poor decision, and Vera Montes came up with an interception, which led to a field goal. In the second half, it was more of the same, as Wayne was picked off by senior safety Tim Ellis. Next drive, airing one out, but it was underthrown and picked by Roberson Jr. of Tennessee. The Vols scored, making it 31-7, and the defense picked up the intensity again, just coming after Wayne relentlessly and forcing a 4th and 15, where Wayne missed his man who was actually wide open for a turnover on downs. Tennessee even got themselves a short fullback touchdown to end the game at 38-7, with Austin Tyquan Thornton nabbing 5 sacks in a single game, getting the attention of every scout in the NFL. Carroll did have 51 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Turk and Bakare had some nice receiving games, and Haggerty played well on defense, but Wayne, he had a tough time with Tennessee's vaunted defense. In week number 2, it went a little bit better for the Cardinals on the road at Duke, who were starting subscriber Jay King at quarterback. Wayne, out of the gate, found fan favorite Elvis Hooker, what a name, before going right back to him for another first down. And that led to this short yardage touchdown run and another first drive score for Ball State this year. Down 7-3, Duke, though, found the end zone with a short, tutty run. But on the ensuing drive, it was Dwayne Carroll busting a big run for 29 yards, making it possible for Jeffrey Wayne to hit Demetrius March in the back of the end zone for a 24-yard score. Third quarter, up 4 points, Wayne found Kavez Moore for 15 yards before scrambling around behind the line like he's Kyler Murray to open up Ezekiel Wilson for a 22-yard strike. Dwayne Carroll would finish off the drive with another of his patented short yardage scores, and Jay King had to pick up production down 11. So we found Cedric Funderburk for 22 yards before another nice throw to Nick Rodman in traffic to set up this play back to Funderburk for the 4-yard touchdown. Carroll sat on the sideline angry at the defense and decided to put the team on his back with a huge 28-yard run. And the rest of his runs would make it possible for Elvis Hooker to go uncovered on a 7-yard touchdown play and get the 11-point lead back. With just over a minute and a half, Jay King is intercepted going for the back left corner of the end zone, and after a defensive stop, another chance for Duke. King goes right side and gets intercepted by Marco Stankovic, putting the stank on it. Dwayne Carroll nabbed player of the game honors with 125 yards and 2 scores in the 38-21 dub. Wayne had a much better day, and Elvis Hooker and Marco Stankovic have coming out parties. At 1-1, Ball State will have a bye before taking on ULM in their final out-of-conference matchup. But for now, it's time to begin the NFL season. We welcome you to Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, where the Las Vegas Raiders begin their 2024 campaign against the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen will look to terrorize this Vegas defense, who had a lot of troubles in the preseason, but it is the regular season now, and it is going to be completely different, we would think. Preston Stone, the rookie quarterback, gets his first NFL start here with the Las Vegas Raiders, and Coach Paparion Cortez had a lot to say about that. We'll get to that soon. A lot of people didn't think that Preston Stone should start. Alejandro Klink III is the first-round draft pick for the LA Chargers, and he will play in that secondary alongside Derwin James as we get underway for the 2024 NFL season. The kick away to Chaz Nimrod, who will take it out of the end zone and fail to reach the 20-yard line. So Preston Stone and the offense with the work cut out for them here early. 75 overall, conservative decision maker, and Coach Cortez had this to say. He said, listen, Preston Stone will be fine. No Josh Jacobs or Devontae Adams in the preseason. You think that doesn't have an impact? How did Jimmy do this preseason? Not much better. If he'd been way better, he'd still be a Raider, and we likely have 3 quarterbacks on roster, but he was awful too without the full complement of weaponry. Thus, we kept O'Connell, cut Jimmy, and I like our 2 quarterbacks. All we got to do is go out there and win. Well, we'll see if Vegas can go out there and win. As Preston Stone on 1st and 10, the give to Josh Jacobs, and there's an easy first down, it would seem. Josh Jacobs with that carry vision. Here's Stone. He's got all kinds of time on 1st and 10. He hits Devontae Adams, so there you go, using his full complement of weapons early. Then Stone going to give it to Josh Jacobs up the middle on 1st and 10, leaving a 2nd and inches. And why not go right back to Josh Jacobs for the first down? 1st and 10. Here's Stone. Again, the line holding up quite well. Finds Michael Mayer to the left side for a 6-yard gain, and Stone is fired up here on this first drive. 2nd and 4, Stone's got a bunch of time as well. Going to Mayer, it is off the hands of a defender. That was Alejandro Klink III with the pass breakup. Here's Preston Stone going with a screen, and Jacobs with a diving catch. Unfortunately, the drive is halted, and Daniel Carlson hits a long field goal to take a 3-0 lead. And now we will see Justin Herbert and that Chargers offense. Justin Herbert, one of the better quarterbacks in football. We'll see what he can do here on his first drive as he drops back, throws it to Keenan Allen, and he drops it. That is not something we see very often, but Herbert going again. There's a pass breakup, and the Raiders defense playing kind of well right now. Here's Herbert under some pressure. He's just going to throw it away. So Herbert 0 for 3 on his first drive, and the Raiders take over. Stone's going to give it to Josh Jacobs. Jacobs got a ton of room to run, and he will get into enemy territory. Here's Stone again. Stone throwing the slant to Davante Adams. That one ends up going for a first down at the 29-yard line of LA. Here's Stone. He's going to give it to Jacobs. Jacobs is fired up here in this first quarter, and he is running amok all over this Charger defense. 5 runs, 53 yards. First and 10 for the Raiders. Mayer in motion to the left. 4:53 to go first quarter. They're going to give it to Jacobs again, and Jacobs up the middle for 5 yards. Here's Stone. Stone going to throw up the middle. Nimrod couldn't come up with that catch. He was hit by Alejandro Klink, the third. 3rd and 5. Stone up the middle, and that one's knocked away. Wonderful defense. And so the Chargers stop the Raiders, and Daniel Carlson will nab a chip shot field goal, make it 6-0. Play fake for Herbert on the first play of the Chargers' new drive. He'll throw it out of bounds, avoiding a sack. Very smart play so far for Herbert. Here's Herbert again, this time on the slant. He will complete his first pass of the day, a little bit behind Keenan Allen. And then on 3rd and 4, that one is complete to his tight end, Valentine. Now a little play fake. Here's Herbert. He is going to seemingly take off with it. No, he's just going to get rid of it. And an injury on the play. Isaiah Spiller going to head to the locker room limping. 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert right side. That one's incomplete. That sets up a 3rd and 10. A little play fake, and the throw is complete to his target, Joshua Palmer, for a first down into Raider territory. Now handing the football off here. No Spiller, so it's going to be the spellback McCain. 14 yards for him. 1st and 10. Herbert's going deep. He's got Allen, and he drops the pass. Keenan Allen definitely not in midseason form. And there's Spiller back in the lineup. 1 yard on that one. 3rd and 9. Nice throw to his tight end, Valentine, getting him down to the 6-yard line. Here's a 1st and goal. Spiller's going to take it on 1st and goal, and he is stopped after a short gain. 2nd and goal. They're going to go fullback run. It doesn't work, and Boogie Basham Jr. holding his knee. Never a good thing in football. 3rd and goal, though. Spiller trying to get there. He will not. And that will leave a 4th and goal, but when we come back at the end of the first quarter, Las Vegas 6, LA 0. All right, back on the other side of the break, it is 4th and goal, and the Chargers will take the chip shot field goal, cut the lead in half. Stone on an RPO finds Davante Adams for 9, and then the give to Josh Jacobs. He is held up. Excellent play by the defense. Here's a 3rd and 2, and Stone goes underneath to Michael Mayer, who will truck over a defender, pick up a first down. 1st and 10 from their own 49. Josh Jacobs trying to run here, and he is going to get 5 yards on the play. So 2nd and 5. Stone to Jacobs. Nice little cutback on 2nd and 5, and he finds room for 4. 3rd and 1 now. Empty back set. Interesting play call, but Adams wide open, getting by Asante Samuel Jr. for the first down. Here goes Josh Jacobs on 1st and 10. Not really a lot of room for him, just a couple of yards there. 2nd and 8. And Stone's got some time. He's throwing this one, and it is knocked away by Asante Samuel Jr. A little underthrown there. Not a lot of zip on it. Here's Stone trying to get some zip to Nimrod, and that is knocked away as well. So a couple of passes defensed, and it will be another easy field goal for Daniel Carlson to make it a 9-3 game. Here's Justin Herbert throwing right side, and a little inaccurate. He was trying to throw it where only the receiver could get it. Hobbs in coverage. Here's Herbert, left side. That one is caught by Isaiah Spiller. Big hit put on his back on that one. There's a throw up the middle. That one is complete as well. Short yardage gain, 4. Here's Isaiah Spiller, and he is hit right away by Mad Max Crosby. So 3rd and 7 for the Chargers, thrown left side, and that one's knocked away by Quintavious Mentor, who we were hoping would make some big plays for this defense. Here's Josh Jacobs with a huge run after the punt, and he will get to the 36. Here's Preston Stone. Again, this line holding up quite well. He's able to fit one in there to Adams, but it's knocked away by Samuel. And they'll go play fake here on 2nd and 10. The throw to Jacoby Myers. There's his first catch of the season. Now Preston Stone on a 1st and 10. A lot of pressure coming. It's a screen. It's Josh Jacobs. And he will finally be brought down after a gain of 5. Here's a 2nd and 5. And Mayer's going to make this catch, but not get to the marker. So 3rd and inches. Why not? Just give it to Josh Jacobs. He will pick it up quite easily. We've reached the 2-minute warning at 9-3 Raiders. See if they can pick up some points here. Stone had Adams on the quick slant. He didn't see him, and Bosa comes up with a sack. So 2nd and 17. Stone's going to take it to the end zone. Adams could not win the hand fight over Asante Samuel Jr., so it'll be 3rd and 17. Pressure coming. A screenplay is not well set up. And Daniel Carlson comes out for the 51-yard try. Easy to make it, 12-3. 1:11 to go in the half. Herbert throwing and completing to his tight end. And then throwing up the middle. That one's incomplete. That was a dangerous pass by Jay Herbo. Here's Herbert. Looking right side again, and that's a big smack, big hurt and put on the tight end there for a 3rd and 10. Herbert, right side. That one could have been caught too, but again knocked away, and the punt leaves the Raiders with a chance here in the last 30 seconds of the half. Jacoby Myers trying to pick up a first. He does. Morgan Fox, though, hobbling to the sidelines. Here's Preston Stone on 1st and 10. He will find Dalton Keene, the backup tight end. That goes to enemy territory at the 46. Here's Preston Stone now. Stone under some heavy pressure, finds Jacoby Myers, and that is caught. They take timeout, 2nd and 2. Not a lot of time left in the half. This one is thrown up for Adams, but through the back of the end zone. 3rd and 2 now, not a lot of time. Going underneath, that one's nearly intercepted, knocked away, good defense. And so Daniel Carlson comes out and nails a long field goal as time expires in this first half. And we go into the tunnel 15-3. Raiders with the lead in this one, all field goals. Quite surprising, no touchdowns yet. Here's Herbert, first drive of the second half. He finds his man finally. Keenan Allen, and he is off to the races and gone. Keenan Allen comes up with a huge play, and they're just down 5 now. Raiders, Preston Stone rolling right. He will throw it to Michael Mayer. That's the easy check down option, 4-yard pickup. Then Stone on the 3-step drop, gonna get this one to Mayer again. He has been a focus. Here's Preston Stone on 2nd and 10. Got a man wide open. It's Jacoby Myers, and he will find his way down to the 21-yard line. Jacoby Myers coming up with some big crossing routes for this team. Tends to work. Here we go. Josh Jacobs on 1st and 10. He will go up the middle for a gain of 2. And then Stone gonna roll to his left. He's got to get rid of that football. He's hit anyways by Jackson. Probably should have been a penalty. Here's Stone. On 3rd and 8, he cannot hit an open Michael Mayer or throw him open. So on 4th and 8, Daniel Carlson comes out and nails himself a 36-yard field goal, making it 18-10. Chargers now, their second possession of the half. Underneath, Joshua Palmer. Nice little weaving through traffic to pick up 9. They'll give it to Isaiah Spiller, and Spiller's got a ton of room here. Gets it to the Charger 48 near midfield. Here's a throw on the slant pattern, and this one is going to be off to the races as well. Those are working in this second half for LA, and Quentin Johnson has a touchdown. The big receiver from TCU makes this two-point conversion possible, but it's a bad throw from Herbert. Johnson was open too. Here's Stone going right side. That is complete to Joshua Jacobs. Gain of 4. Now 3rd and 6 here. And Preston Stone under some pressure. Can't get the throw off. He's 17 of 30 for 206. So the Chargers take over. They try to do that Keenan Allen play again, but take a look. Quintavious Mentor with the one hand just able to knock that thing away. Here's Isaiah Spiller, and this one's across the 50-yard line. 3rd and 1 now for the Chargers, and the slant play is knocked away. Very nice knockdown, and that will get the punt for the Raiders. Here goes Joshua Jacobs for 7 up the middle. 3:33 to go, 3rd quarter. Jacobs getting the handoff again on 2nd and 3. Just picks up a yard, but they'll give it to him on 3rd and 2, and there is a lot more room to run, and he has eclipsed the 100-yard mark. Preston Stone, the throw left side, that was right into the hands of Adams, but knocked away. Sante Samuel Jr. playing really well today. Here's Josh Jacobs. We got a flag, though, on 2nd and 10. It's a hold. So 2nd and 17. Stone looking for an open receiver. Can't find one. He will throw it away, leaving a 3rd and 17. And he's going to take the underneath route to Michael Mayer, setting up a 4th and 6 and a punt. So Chargers take over here with the 3rd quarter winding down. What a catch for Quentin Johnston. Big catch. Herbert, couple of touchdowns in this second half. Here's a play fake. Herbert under some pressure. He's going to go for a check down screen to Keenan Allen. That'll work for a few yards. 2nd and 7 now. Herbert going slant route. That one is complete as well to his tight end Valentine. And we are done with 3 here in Las Vegas. 18-16 Raiders with a very slim lead. We're back 3rd and 2. A little fake pitch fullback run. It doesn't work. So now the Chargers going to go for it on 4th and 1. Isaiah Spiller is able to find the room and pick up the first down. 7 runs, 31 yards. Now 1st and 10. Here's Spiller, play fake, throwing, and it is incomplete. Jacorian Bennett with a nice hit. 3rd and 10, right side throw, another incompletion on a drop pass. Here's a 1st and 10, and that one's nearly intercepted. Lucky was Preston Stone. That could have been housed easily. Here's Josh Jacobs. They're going to keep it on the ground now on 2nd down, pick up 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 5. Go back to the air, and that one is incomplete, headed at Jacoby Myers. So the punt away, now 1st and 10 from their own 46. Chargers with good field position, but Isaiah Spiller loses 2 on the run. Real nice defense there for Vegas. Here's Crosby. He is coming in at Herbert, and Herbert's got nothing but room in front of him, and he will take off. Rain Rambo comes in and makes the tackle on him. But it's in the red zone for the Chargers. Here's Isaiah Spiller. Nice cutback, and he will end up picking up a 1st down. Excellent run for Isaiah Spiller. Here, they'll give it right back to Spiller, but he is held up by Spillane. So a lot of spilling going on, and Bilal Nichols injuring his thigh. He's going to have to walk off as well, limping into the locker room. 2nd and 8 for the Chargers with 6:11 to go. Crosby was coming in at Herbert. He just threw it through the back of the end zone. 3rd and 8. They're going to go play fake to Spiller. The throw wide open in the end zone is Trey McKitty. And then we get news that Bilal Nichols has a hip pointer. Will return soon, but they can't rush him back out there. Here goes Josh Jacobs, and he goes for 7 as the Chargers with a 23-18 lead. Here's Preston Stone. Stone looking, and he will throw, but right out of bounds, headed in the direction of Jacoby Myers, and there you go. Another injury for Morgan Fox. He was injured twice today. Stone setting up screen. Josh Jacobs following the blockers, and he will pick up the 1st down. So Raiders get a new set of downs. 1st and 10. Stone looking, and a diving play for Chaz Nimrod. Those are the type of incredible plays we have come used to from him. Here's Josh Jacobs, and he has stood up behind the line. A loss of 4. Kendricks with a nice tackle. Here, a play fake. Stone looking and throwing, and this is in traffic, knocked away from Jacoby Myers. Good plays by the Chargers defense. Here's a 3rd and 14 up the middle. They need Adams to come up with it, but he just doesn't. Incomplete. Asante Samuel Jr. has been rough on Devontae Adams all day long. And on 4th and 14, look at the punt by A.J. Cole. That is huge. Justin Herbert on a 1st and 10 is intercepted. Isaiah Simmons has it inside the 5-yard line for Vegas. That could be a game-changing play. Here's Josh Jacobs, and he is brought down for a huge loss at the 8. So 2nd and goal, right back to Josh Jacobs, and again, no room to run. So 3rd and goal, Stone's going to throw for it. He's going to go to Tay, and it is knocked away from him. Alejandro Clink has been huge in the secondary as a rookie, and Carlson's going to take the field goal. Coach Pip will just take his points here. Here's a big throw. That one's dropped. Should have been caught by Quentin Johnston. So now 2nd and 10 for the Chargers. Isaiah Spiller brought down behind the line by Mad Max. 2-minute warning, 23-21. Raiders need a big stop on 3rd and 11, and they do not get it. A 1st down picked up by Joshua Palmer. Now they got to start using them timeouts. Here's Spiller on 1st down. Timeout Raiders. 2nd and 8. Spiller on 2nd down. Nice defense, and another timeout for the Raiders. 3rd and 8. They got to stop this one. Herbert, incomplete. Inaccurate throw. Spillane in coverage. And so the Raiders do get it back. Here's Josh Jacobs breaking a tackle, moving it upfield, picking up a 1st down. 33 seconds to go. This is going to be tough. Preston Stone, under heavy pressure, can't get the pass off. That's going to leave 2nd and 10 here. Here's Preston Stone rolling to his right. He's got a man wide open deep, and he overthrows Chaz Nimrod. So that leaves 3rd and 10 for Vegas. Stone, again, looking for a big pass. He finds Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer stays in bounds. The timeout needs to be taken by Vegas, but a no-huddle 14-second runoff was not anything anyone asked for. And so the Raiders don't get their field goal team out there to kick a game winner, and the Chargers come away with a 23-21 victory. Herbert with 3 touchdowns and that pick. Preston Stone throws for 266, just under 50%, no touchdowns, no picks. Josh Jacobs had 114 yards, Michael Mayer 86, Crosby with a couple of TFLs, Simmons with the big interception, Joey Bosa with the sack, and Alejandro Clink with 5 pass deflections. At the end of the game, Coach Paparion Cortez had this to say: "I tried to get the timeout in, but for some reason the ref just didn't hear it. The clock operator didn't see it. Whatever. Obviously a tough way to lose, and I'm quite disappointed. Should have gotten the W there, but we move on to next week as we take on likely the best team in the NFL over there at Arrowhead. It won't be easy, but I think those that are worried about Preston got quieted a little bit today. I hope he puts on a show in KC and really silences all of the noise." So maybe a little bit of deflection there for Coach Paparion Cortez coaching in his first NFL game, and it just did not work well with the clock running out in Vegas in week 1. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you next week.